Florida law seeks to rein in large social media companies. This is an AP story. Standing at a lectern with a sign reading "Stop Big Tech Censorship," Republican Florida Governor DeSantis signed a bill on Monday that seeks to punish social media platforms that remove conservative ideas from their sites. The new law will enable states to fine large social media companies $250,000 a day if they remove an account of a statewide political candidate, and $25,000 a day if they remove an account of someone running for a local office. DeSantis pointed out, in particular, to then President Donald Trump being banned by Twitter while still allowing Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei to maintain an account. When you deplatform the President of the United States, but you let Ayatollah Khamenei talk about killing Jews, that is wrong, DeSantis says. This bill targets social media platforms that have more than 100 million monthly users, which include online giants as Twitter, Facebook, but lawmakers carved out an exception for Disney and their apps by including that theme park owners wouldn't be subject to that law, of course, because Disney is in Florida. Right. DeSantis has to take care of this. So anyway, so what do you think about this? I'm going to go to you first.
Okay,
go ahead.
Here's my initial thought, and I'm the only non-resident of Florida here, so let me say this from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. There's one thing I think of. DeSantis is starting his campaign for president. I mean, I don't know how much meat this is going to have, but he wants to be the guy out on the forefront. There's no Republican out there that you could think could possibly run in 3.5 years. Not one, not Trump. I mean, he's laying so low, you don't even know what he's doing right now. I mean, he made big news the other day because he hit a golf ball into the water on his golf course. That was news the other day. So I think DeSantis is running for president. I don't know how much meat this is going to have. I don't believe that Zuckerberg and Dorsey and anybody is actually shaking over this. They're not worried about this one bit. I think it's on the surface, it looks good. It sounds good. I think there's a lot of vagueness in here, ambiguity in here that you really don't understand how they're going to enforce it. Yeah. But it looked good at the press conference, and it is especially effective if you're running for president in 2024, which this gentleman will be doing.
So you think he's going 2024?
I do.
Are you kidding me?
You're going to see huge announcements out of Florida every 2 months.
DeSantis is going to run?
I mean, he looks like a leader when he does this, and he's laying the groundwork of what his platform's going to be.
I think he's obviously eyeing the presidency, but it's a little too early to tell. We got to get through the midterms. I mean, Biden just got elected, 6 months ago.
Honeymoon's over.
Honeymoon's over. We're breaking up with Biden.
Find someone to beat him. Yeah.
I would happen to agree with that. But I think I've been pretty clear about big tech, where even when Major Williams was here, I said, look, Trump's been banned from a lot of these platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Instagram, he hasn't made an Instagram post since the insurrection. I think big tech is getting a little too big for their britches, to put it apropos speech. And I think this is something that needs to be said. Mark Zuckerberg's and Facebook's approval ratings are in the 20-30%. Trump's at 40%. And I think this is something that's good for sound bites. Like you said, I don't know how they're going to enforce this. Who's going to enforce $250,000 a day? How's that actually going to take place?
Send them an invoice, see if they pay it,
Yeah,
right?
What's going to happen? How are they going to actually pay
how do you police this thing?
Yeah, how do they police that?
I don't know. All I know is I love the idea.
You do.
And all I know is many of the federal ideas start at the state level, which means this may be an idea being started now at the state level. When the next Republican president gets elected, he's going to say, we're making this federal. And then boom. Yeah. Then the federal is going to get involved in saying, wait a minute, you just said you're a social media company, but now you want to ban people? If you want to ban political people, you have to get approval by us because now you're involved with the government. And here's what we're going to be doing. $250,000 a day. I can see.
It is smart, when you explain it like that.
By the way, $250,000 a day. Right. It's not $250,000 a month. That's $3 million a year. $250,000 a day, which is $7.5 million a month, which is $90 million a year. That's real money. Just so everybody knows, that is real money. When did Trump get banned? Kai, can you tell me when Trump got banned?
The day after the insurrection.
Yeah, the 23rd or something.
The 23rd he got banned? 23rd. Okay, how many days since the 23rd? Do the math.
It's been 5 months.
Okay, 5 months? 4. What's 5 times? It's been 4 months or 5 months?
120 days, something like that.
120 days. 120 days times $75,000 is what? What's 120 days? It's going to be, what, $30 million, okay? 120 times 120 times $250,000. That's real money, $30 million. So Twitter would be paying a $30 million fine right now.
Okay, I think they look at that as the cost of doing business.
I don't think so. I think $30 million is a real number. You don't think so?
I don't. Okay. Ultimately, because if they can keep on doing what they're doing and not change, I think they pay $90 million a year to do that. I do.
No, I disagree with you. I think that when you start paying fines of $30 million, $90 million, whatever the numbers are, that's going to get someone's attention. I think, look, big tech and their overlordness is definitely becoming a problem. And if I'm a conservative and I'm seeing conservative voices being taken down, I'm rallying around this idea right here. So big tech has been censoring conservative voices. I think something that they did well was disclaimers, fact checks. This has turned out not to be true. Yeah. I think that's all well and fair, especially when you're full on lying or quote unquote the big lie. But to full on censor somebody and say, the president can't be on this. This voice can't be on this. At the end of the day, this is America. We do believe in the First Amendment, freedom of speech. You can't just completely censor
what I'm saying.
people.
So what you're saying is you like what he's doing. He's making noise and he's bringing attention to a topic that needs to be covered.
I think he has a valid point.
Because it's got a lot of people concerned. By the way, we have another person here, Hodge's wife, that just gave $10. I just like what she quoted. Foreign aid is taking money from the poor people of a rich country and giving it to the rich people of a poor country. Let me read that one more time. That's a Ron Paul quote. Foreign aid is taking money from the poor people of a rich country and giving it to the rich people of a poor country.
Right, sure.
She gets 10 times $10. Hodge's wife sent us a text. 310-340-1132. You're getting $100
Hodge's
on the $10.
wife.
I like Hodge's wife.
Is Hodge getting any of that money or just his wife?
Hodge's wife. Hodge's, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
I hope you're listening. By the way, Steve Levitz just gave $100. He wants to talk about Israeli army. He was in it for 8 years.
Yeah.
Text us. We may just give you a call.
Yeah, Pat, I think it's all going to come crumbling down for these social media companies. I really do, because you're even seeing this, and there might be a segment later in the show. Sacha Baron Cohen. Is there a bigger liberal, person that's more, socially left than anybody else, criticizing Jack Dorsey for allowing the hate speech on Israel? They're getting high on their own supply. It's like a drug dealer that gets addicted to coke. They're going to be so arrogant, so cocky, so out of control. Now, not much can happen until the Republicans get at least one part of the government. If they take over the House in a year and a half, I believe behind closed doors, they are aligning themselves to go right after public enemy number one is the big tech companies. I mean, you hear about it right now.
I actually agree with you. And a lot more people are agreeing on both sides, by the way.
Yeah, and something has to be done eventually. And I think this is a brilliant move by DeSantis because it shows strength, it shows foresightedness, it shows leadership, and he can fall back on it when he's running for president.
Yeah.
And he might even be able to push this through in Florida because he gets his way here.
Good point, yeah.
That's it. We're taking a deep breath. This guy is about to drop them.
I was going to say, he has a major
Kai,
point.
are you checking text?
When he says...
Have they responded already? Okay, so I want to just call John real quick. Go ahead. You
DeSantis,
may want to give me the Valuetainment phone as well so I can do FaceTime if we can get that. If the phone line is working, I'm going to cut Adam off about 7 more times, but go ahead, Adam.
No, it's hard to freaking argue with when DeSantis says when you deplatform the President of the United States, but you let the Ayatollah Khomeini talk about killing Jews, that is wrong. Who the fuck is going to argue with that?
Who's going to argue with that?
Who's going to argue with that?
And they should put the pressure on
But
him.
here's the point. Answer the question.
No kidding, right?
Meaning
That's
Dorsey
the point.
answered the question.
Exactly.
They will haul their asses in front of Congress again.
Let me ask you a question. How much does Sacha Cohen hate Trump? Is it fair to say he cannot stand Trump?
Very fair.
Is that a fair statement?
Right.
Is it fair to say that he can't stand Giuliani with what he did and the Giuliani? Is it fair to say that he likes to go out there and mess with Republican politicians? Is that a fair assessment? For how many years?
And Democrats. He's messed with Bernie.
I would
He's
say
done some other stuff.
90% is Republicans, 10% is Democrats.
Fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. You know who we just went after a couple of days ago? Who do you think he just went after? He went after Jack Dorsey. Yep. Can you pull up the story with him? Because I don't have it in front of me. Kai, if you can pull it up, just pull up any story. Type in Sacha Cohen and Jack
Baron
Dorsey.
Cohen. Let's not disrespect
It's fine.
the
Sacha Cohen,
name.
H-E-N, and Dorsey. Just put in Jack Dorsey. Dorsey. There you go.
Dorsey.
He's gonna be fine. Okay. All right. Let's go to Fox News, New York Post. Go to a New York Post story. Go to a New York Post story. So if you can make it bigger so the guys can listen, and do me a favor, flip the screen. Let's go on that real quick.
Flip the screen.
Sacha Baron Cohen blasts Twitter CEO over social media anti-Semitism. If you're giving me the phone, okay, got it. Sacha Baron Cohen blasts Twitter CEO over social media anti-Semitism. Keep going up. Kai, keep going up. Keep going up, keep going up. The surge in anti-Semitism on the streets is fueled by anti-Semitism on social media. The Borat actor posted on Twitter on Saturday, tagging both the platform and CEO Jack Dorsey. Why do you allow hashtag Hitler was right question, he wrote. Those who celebrate the Holocaust aim to perpetuate another. Stop hate for profit. Baron Cohen was apparently reacting to an Anti-Defamation League report released Saturday that said more than 17,000 tweets used variations of the phrase Hitler was right between May 7th and May 14th in 7 days. That's 7,000 tweets. And Sacha Baron Cohen is the same guy that doesn't like anything about Trump that goes after Dorsey. So it's no longer becoming a Republican thing. People are starting to realize the power of Dorsey and how one-sided they are.
And that's his homeland, Israel. I mean, you could see how passionate he is about this. How do you not have an algorithm that weeds out references to Hitler being a positive thing? How is that not in place? You know, they have an explanation that they have to make. They have to talk about. Where's Dorsey? He hasn't responded to this at all. How can he not say, I cannot believe that this has happened under my watch. We got to get this thing fixed. Nothing. You know what? And you got a few likes from other celebrity Trump basher. I think Mark Ruffalo. You know, there's a few other celebrities are getting on board as well. But
He's another one.
It's reprehensible. It's unbelievable, actually.
This is a perfect example of why you can't just be uniformly left or right. You kind of have to just use your actual mind. And when you see something wrong, even if you're not a big fan of Trump or Giuliani or whatever the hell it is, when you see something wrong like this, you have to call it out. Like what Jack Dorsey's allowing.
That's
on
great.
Twitter.
By the way, here's the thing. Let me tell you what I like. I like the fact, what just happened right now with Sacha Cohen to me is the following. Sacha Cohen officially to me became a true believer that he really doesn't sincerely like the policies on the right, Republican policies, which is fine. But he has policies that he also believes in, that he wants to impose, and is not afraid to ruffle the feathers of the organization that's helping his political party, moving agendas. Sacha Cohen, to me, falls in the category of a Jon Stewart. He falls in the category of Bill Maher to me. He falls in the category of somebody. Tucker Carlson is not liked by Republicans all the time. Just so you know, there's a lot of Republicans that hate Tucker, but they like Hannity. They cannot stand Tucker. So you're seeing a lot of this taking place, and I think that's exactly what we need today.
Yeah, and he addressed something that isn't just politically incorrect, right, that he was offended by. I mean, there are Jews being attacked right now in Los Angeles, in New York, all over the country, and this is fueling it. He has a legitimate beef. Dorsey has to say something. He literally does. I mean, on the heels of what was going on with Israel and Hamas, you know, for 2.5 weeks, is unbelievable. And you could just feel the passion in that tweet as well. He's not done. I'm sure he's, you know, what else does he have to do? He's retired Borat. He's not going to be Borat anymore. He said that at the Golden Globes this year. So, you know, maybe he's going to be a political activist.
We're going to see you as a candidate for the presidency of the United States?
Certainly not in 2020. You can guarantee that.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.